Good evening everyone and welcome back to the Fordyce's BMW M3 E30 League here with NXTGEN Racing around this wonderful Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache circuit in Sao Paulo at Interlagos. It's a wonderful track. We've just been here for round 5 of the Megans, but we've got to go back a little bit in time to round 3 of the M3 League because unfortunately, due to different circumstances, we haven't been able to commentate on this league, but the replays are now available and we can commentate on the race 1 and race 2 of Interlagos this evening. Now, as you can see in front of you, NXTGEN Les qualified on pole position in that spam based car. He's got a little bit of a different scheme going on for this event. You can see he's on a light blue on the right hand side, as opposed to his usual white. And it was Adam ID lining up in second place. It was Mehanesta in third. I'll just cut back a little bit. Fordyce lined up in fourth place. Rally Matt was in fifth. Bruce Lee Harden was sixth on the third row. Joey Dunlop seventh. NXTGEN Bigsy was eighth in that different livery car, we'd call it. Dramatic Dave lined up on 9th place on the 4th row of the grid. NXTGEN Danzo was 10th. Z4E It's Blanksy, nice reference to the artist there. He started 11th on his debut, and Doves 1971 started from the back of the grid. But we'll crack things underway now for round 3, race 1. So take a little bit of time and beam for it to come down. I won't tell you when the numbers are coming because it'll do it itself. Engine revs rise for the start of the round 1 in Interlagos. And it's away they go. Les has got himself off the grid relatively decently, but Adam ID is going to draw alongside him as they come towards turn 1. But it looks like Les has got the lead. He should be able to hold that going into turn 1. Adam ID looking towards the inside, but couldn't quite get through there in that M3 car. Has to slot in behind. Mehanesta's third, Fordyce fourth, Bruce Lee up to fifth from sixth, Joey Dunlop in sixth place, Riley Matt seventh, Bigsy eighth, Dramatic Dave ninth, Blanksy inside the top 10 in that silver, blue and black livery car. Danzo's gone backwards and Doves has only just left the starting grid, so not sure what's happened to the bright green driver. Up the inside is Les trying to defend from Adam Ideas to go into turn number 4 through Descida de Largo, through 5 Mehanesta trying to make a move at the inside, but nothing doing there. Door shut firmly on him, but Joey Dunlop now trying to look for a move at the inside of Rally Matt to take 6th place back, which he does. Rally Matt doesn't look like he's going to be able to hang it round the outside. He's going to try, no doubt, and in fact he slots himself in, but line astern so far, no issues, no dramas. At the moment, Z4E, it's Blanksy just holding on to the tail edge of that group as Traumatic Dave runs a little bit wide in the Want to Race car. Danzo's a little bit further back in that sort of black and blue sort of martini reference coloured car, the Fast Star logo on the side. Bigsy's run a little bit deep going into turn 12. He's got to be careful there because Dave trying to go around the outside of Magullo will be difficult as they approach the penultimate corner for the final, well, rather the first time. But at the moment, Dave hassling Bigsy as they come towards the end of this first lap. Back at the front, it's NXTGEN Les who's made a break for it already, riding on board with Adam ID. You can see the gap already about a second as they come towards the start of the second lap. Les making a good charge in the championship at the moment. He's had 2 good opening rounds. Adam trying to just get in his mirrors. Wasn't certainly a move on at all, but definitely worth a little look as Mehanesta in third. He's got Fordyce harrying him now. He's moved up a few places as Fordyce off the start. He's going well. Bruce Lee's in 5th, Rally Matt 6th in this ensuing squabble for 6th place. Joey Dunlop on the outside in that blue and yellow car, backed by WD-40 no less, but Rally Matt braked a little bit earlier then, and Joey Dunlop straight round the outside at turn 4. Good move. Up into 6th place goes the blue and yellow WD-40 driver. There's Bigsy just shadowing that in 8th with Dave in 9th. There's Danzo up to 10th now. He's got himself inside the top 10. Blanksy right there with him in that sort of bespeckled blue and black car. It's a nice livery, I have to say. As Fordyce battling with Mehanesta, he's trying to go around the outside at Pinarino. Be impressive move if he could pull that off around the outside. He's going to be on the inside for turn 12. On the brakes, nothing that Mehanesta can really do, and Fordyce gets the move done up to 3rd place into the podiums. But he leaves a bit of room for Mehanesta, who definitely has an argument to be on the inside as they come into the penultimate corner. But Mehanesta, the American, has to stay behind. Adams closed that gap on this lap. He's doing very well so far. He's going to be in the slipstream of the erstwhile leader of Les. Will he be close enough to make a move at any point? It's going to be interesting to see if he can. He's closing that slipstream now. You can see up to 140 miles an hour as they approach turn 1. He's not going to be close enough, so he has to brake a little bit earlier. What about Mehanesta? Will he make a lunge? Not quite. Has to slot him behind. A little bit of contact between himself and Fordyce, but good driving from Mehanesta. He knew that he hit the back of Fordyce. He had to back out of it, and that's exactly what he did as they go through the Centre S. As Rally Matt 6th, Bigsy up to 7th. So Joey Dunlop's gone backwards in these opening few laps. He was fighting with Rally Matt for 6th, but he's no longer there. He's down in 8th place. And it's Dave. Here comes Blanksy looking at the inside of Danzo. Later on the brakes goes Blanksy. Up the inside, clean as you like. He's drifted a little bit further wide than what he needs to. He should be able to shut the door on Danzo, or at least cover off that momentum, which he has done. Side by side further in the field, Bigsy's just let a position go, trying to clear a penalty, and Blanksy takes 10th place with a fabulous move at turn 4. Really well executed through Interlagos. Danzo trying to make a move to counter-attack, but nothing doing there. He's going to have to hold on for the time being. But a group of cars now, 5 of them together. Z4E certainly showing well in his first race. Keeping on top of everything. Don't forget the opening race, all the drivers on racing hard tyres. I'll switch to mediums for race 2. But so far a quarter of the session gone. And the gaps are forming. There's effectively 4 groups going on at the moment. You've got the front 2 of NXTGEN Les and Adam ID. Adam again in the slipstream. He got fastest lap on lap 2. 43.7, looking very quick. He's in the slipstream again, but will he try and make a later lunge this time? Les braked a fraction earlier there, but Adam doesn't want to try and make any risky moves so early on in the race. Unlike Mehanesta, who's hit the back of Bruce. He's gone off the circuit. He's arguably in the wrong gear. He's dropped down to 6th. Only just saw the back of Mehanesta's car go off the circuit. We didn't see the preceding incident before then. Well, Mehanesta, unfortunately for him, goes off on the approach to turn 1. He's got a bit of work to do now. Joey Dunlop, in the meantime, has a lot of work to do. He's got Bigsy on the outside of him as they approach to Interlagos for the 4th time. Joey's braked a lot later. He's gone sailing off onto the AstroTurf. He's going to lose a place. He might lose another one to Traumatic Dave, but no, he shuts the door just in time. So Joey Dunlop picking up a penalty for his troubles as he tries to clear that going into turn number 6. He's on the inside of Bigsy. It's a very good move. He probably wouldn't have expected it, Bigsy. Trying to go a little bit up the inside, all over the curbs. He gets the move done. A little bit of contact. Bigsy back up the inside through Pinarino. Door to door. A little bit of more door banging as they go through the corner. And Joey just comes across on him, which he doesn't need to do. Bigsy's going to have to go around the outside, unfortunately, through S. This is the name of the corner in that respect. In terms of Bico de Pato. He can't quite make a move, so Bigsy has to go back to 8th place. Joey Dunlop getting his lines all wrong, as does Bigsy. Dramatic Dave hit the back of NXTGEN Bigsy he did then, and Joey Dunlop's got 1.1 seconds of penalties to try and clear, so that's going to be a bit of a nightmare for him. Blanksy and Danzo are having a good fight over 10th place, the final spot. Blanksy in the right position really to just take hold of that slipstream. He needs to try and utilise that so that he can effectively cover from Danzo, and he has done as they approach turn 1. Dave trying to look at the inside of Bigsy, but Bigsy covers off and looks to try and attack that 7th place driver of Joey Dunlop, who's sideways coming through the centre S. This is Bigsy's chance to try and go around the outside, but he can't get there. The momentum not with him. Dave now has the momentum. He's going to be on the inside of the pair of them, but Bigsy tracking so hard at the moment. A fight for 7th place is very intense, as is the one for 4th in the meantime. But Joey just about holds on, and Dave's going to follow him through. And Joey's gone off at the corner. Turn 5. Dave, oh, bit of contact between the two. Joey's just about got away with it. I think he's going to lose the momentum, and Bigsy slams the door shut. Another penalty for Joey's woes, but he's back up the inside again. Going into turn 6 at Ferradura, he's arguably pushed Bigsy out of the way, but he's back into 8th nonetheless. And Blanksy probably just sat watching all of this thinking, where do I get involved now? But a big fight for 7th place, raging exceptionally hard. Bigsy trying to do everything he can to get past that blue and yellow livery car. Just struggling at the moment. Oh, Bigsy sideways going through turn 12 at Magullo. Just about holds the car as Dunlop runs further wide again. And here comes Danzo. Oh, that's very aggressive from Blanksy to try and defend from Danzo. He gave just about enough room. Blanksy just shuts the door. He holds the slipstream. That's what he's aiming for. That's what he's looking to hold off on. Rest of the field at the moment currently flying up off after Les if they can. These 5 drivers having a huge fight for 7th place. But Dave has got past Joey and looks to have made a little bit of a gap for himself as these guys now fight over that 8th place. It's like a nice little gap has formed for Traumatic Dave. Looking at about a second almost at the moment. Not quite, just underneath that. In the fight for 4th, Rally Matt, Mehanesta and Bruce Lee all together. So another big fight going on from here. 4Fish all on his own at the moment. Nothing he could do. Bruce looking to the inside of Mehanesta, but nothing doing through Ferradora at turn 6. Adam ID still tracking Les. There's been no swap of positions during the race so far, so these two just working together, trying to keep away from 4Fish at the moment. Gap is about 4 seconds as Mehanesta tries to go around the outside, coming into turn 11. Can he go around the outside? He tries to look at it. Rally Matt defends effectively. Bruce Lee looking to get involved in the action, but he just keeps himself behind for now, biding his time. Is the Fallout backed car. Sees a good set of exits from all 3 drivers, but the slipstream is going to really benefit Rally Matt in terms of, well, inviting some pressure from Mehanesta and Bruce Lee Harding. It's not going to help him in terms of defending though. He's got to try and go early to the inside, which he has done. So he's blocking the inside line already. Mehanesta now right in the wheel tracks of that M3, as is Bruce Lee. He jerks to the outside, as does the American. Oh, I thought there was going to be contact between Bruce Lee and Mehanesta. He did really well, did Bruce, to keep himself away that rear spoiler, and he's going to try and go around the outside at turn 3. He's already cleared Mehanesta. That's a brilliant move. He's just got to keep the momentum now as they come towards turn 4. He's on the outside of Rally Matt. He's got the momentum. He's already partially passed. Where does Mehanesta go in all of this? He didn't get the best run through Centre S. He's going to try and brake a little bit later. He's going to try and go around the outside. Bruce Lee a little bit sideways, but he just holds the car and he goes into 4th place with a fabulous move. Going through the Centre S, he hooked it up perfectly and he now moves into that 4th position. Rally Matt just defending from Mehanesta. He's now the sandwich in the middle of the 2 cars. But at the moment, Bruce Lee in 4th. Traumatic Dave seems to just be trying to edge away from Joey Dunlop. Similar times last time around. Only a 100th or so separating the pair of them, realistically. A 10th at that. There's Bigsy, then there's Danzo. Blanksy's dropped back a little bit. Seems to be he's dropped back on this lap. So something's happened to Blanksy. He's lost a little bit of momentum and he's out of the slipstream range, unfortunately. So the Patronus livery car having to rumble round now in 11th place, but he showed well in the opening half of the race. He's still got 8 minutes to go. Far from over yet. Dove's flashing the lights as he goes through turn number 6, Ferradora, as he flies over the curbs. I'm not sure what happened to Doves at the start of this race, but he's on his own. Nice drift through turn number 9 through Pinerino from Doves, but he's got to just keep himself focused and carry on driving as best as he can. Back at the front, Adams still applying the pressure on Les, long-time leader, no less is Les. 143.6 his best lap so far, but Adam set the fastest lap that time around, so Adam must think now this is his opportunity to get past Les, to use this chance as a springboard for the championship, because they're very close at this moment in time at round 3. Adam's been driving well in these M3s, but yet to see him really put a dent in Les's title aspirations. This is a great opportunity, but he's got to track Les. Certainly not an easy driver to pass, so we'll keep an eye out on this gap as they come round Junkow for what is the 8th lap. Amazing the number of laps the M3s have done so far already. But it's been an interesting race for the front two. They're both clear enough of Fordyce. They're about 6 or so seconds ahead, but Adam, I think, is just a touch too far away from Les to try and throw it up the inside without Les defending. Here comes Adam ID in the slipstream up to 140 miles an hour. Can he make a move? He can't. Just has to slot in behind Les for another lap. Fordyce running by himself. There's Bruce. He's got a 9/10 penalty. He's got to try and clear that as soon as he can. There's Rally Matt. Mehanesta in 6th place. So Bruce Lee a little bit sideways through turn 1. It's a bit wary of that one, and it's going to promote an opportunity for Rally Matt as they come towards turn 4. He's right in the slipstream of Bruce Lee Harden. Is Bruce going to try and defend? It doesn't look like he is. Rally Matt just tucks in behind Bruce. Bruce a little bit sideways, maybe running a bit more rear brake bias on that M3 is Bruce Lee as opposed to Rally Matt. Goes to the inside, does Bruce, but doesn't need to defend into turn 6. Mehanesta a little bit further back than that. He's got a penalty to clear. Dave, Big Z, Joey Dunlop and Danzo all together. So Dave hasn't been able to escape as well as he would have wanted, and Big Z's got past Joey Dunlop somewhere on circuit. Big Z defends to the inside going into turn number 7. Through 8 they go, into 9. Through Pinarino. All tracking one another, these drivers. Good, clean racing from them so far. Is that Joey Dunlop up the inside of Big Z? It is. And Joey Dunlop goes through. Last ditch move going into Bico D'Apato. And he looks like he's trying to fight back his Big Z on the inside as they approach Junkow. But Joey keeps his position. Oh, he's a bit sideways. Big Z can't take advantage. Danzo, opportunity beckons for the Martini coloured car. Oh, Big Z. Oh, that's an awkward place for Big Z to try and slow down to let Danzo through. Or whether he was showing his displeasure at what had happened with the move of Joey Dunlop, but whatever, it's cost Danzo. But Danzo trying to fight back, trying to look at the inside at turn 1. Nothing for him. Nothing for him to try and get further inside the top 10. Blanksy's drifted a little bit further backwards in this race since he was gapped by the pack, but sometimes that can happen during these races when you're brand new to the league. And Dove's still running around in 12th place, but 47.8 is not a bad lap at all for Dove's. Certainly an improvement from his opening 2 races. Back at the front, the fight for first still ongoing. Only 3 and a bit minutes left in this session. And Les hanging on at the moment. He hasn't felt the need to do any large defensive work. Haven't seen him under as much pressure as Adam would have liked. But Adam's doing his best, trying to track Les as best he can. You can see how committed he was through turn number 13 at Junkow. Adam's certainly not giving up. You can just see Les's exit through turn 13's fantastic. Just keeps him away from Adam ID. It effectively negates the slipstream going onto this main straight. Les doing what he needs to do at the minute. Roughly 2 laps to go for these drivers, so it'll be fascinating to see if Adam can make any inroads. He's a lot closer through turn 3. Over the curb he goes, and he's right behind Les, so Les now has to defend. Approaching turn number 4. Adam on the outside here. Can he try and look and make a move around the outside? He brakes about the same time as Les, but Les covers the line. Keeps hold of the card. Adam just a touch sideways out of turn 4. He can't get up the inside for a switchback, so he has to stay behind for the approach at turn 6, but these two really fighting hard now. They know that Fordyce is nowhere near them. A few taps and knocks, which certainly isn't recommended in this league, wouldn't be a problem. They could sort themselves out. Mehanesta's got himself up to 4th, past Rally Matt and Bruce Lee Harden, so these three having a huge fight still for that 4th place. Mehanesta blocking the line. Oh, he's gone very deep though. He's off the circuit, is Mehanesta. He's going to try and rejoin. That's a bad place to rejoin for Mehanesta. Bruce Lee's going to go through the middle of the pair of them. What an opportunity for him, and he takes 4th place. Fabulous. From Bruce Lee Harden up to 4th he goes then, in 2 places for the price of 1 in 1 corner. Wonderful move. Mehanesta gets himself back past Rally Matt for 5th place, and Rally Matt sideways going through turn 12. He just about holds it despite going all over the curb, all over the back of Mehanesta. They're all looking for the best exit out of turn number 13 on the approach to turn 1 again. What about Adam? This is going to be his big chance to try and go up the inside at turn 1. He's going to brake a little bit later. He's sideways touch on the brakes. He gets past Les. Les moves down to 2nd. A little bit of contact as they go through the centre S, but Adam ID leads on the final lap. Great move. Up the inside. It was last of the late breakers. He had to try and make a charge, and he takes the lead. Next Gen Les is now 2nd. Fordyce 3rd. Mehanesta side by side with Bruce Lee on this final lap. Mehanesta just about holds on. Bruce Lee needs to get his car tucked in as they approach turn 4, which he does, but Rally Matt is in the wheel tracks of the fallout car. Will he try and look to make a move at the inside? He doesn't. Bruce Lee goes defensive instead, and he just stops Rally Matt from going past him. Mehanesta's climbed all over the curb. That's going to be a penalty surely. Joey Dunlop just about holding off Bigsy, but Bigsy now looking for a move at turn 4. Big opportunity for the pink and blue car, but he can't take the position. Danzo's in 9th. Traumatic Dave's had a terrible turn 4. He's in 10th place and gapped from the rest of the group. Les now trying to attack for this final lap victory. He's got a good move. Adam ID squirreling all over the curbs. He's going to try and go around the outside at 12. Can he hold it around the outside? Adam's going to run him to the curb, which he does do. Adam, oh, bit of contact sideways. They both go off. Adam ID's off. It was all a bit messy at the final corner, and Next Gen Les is surely going to go home with a race victory here for race 1, round 3. It was a bit messy, but there was nothing in terms of outside of a racing incident on that one. So Next Gen Les takes the race victory here at Interlagos for round 1. Race 1 of round 3. Adam ID 2nd, Fordyce 3rd. This brilliant fight for 4th place is going to come to its conclusion. Mehanesta, I think, is just about going to hold on from Rally Matt and Bruce Lee Harden, which he just about does in a fabulous fight for 4th. Joey Dunlop, he's going to come home in 7th place. Bigsy trying to clear this penalty has lost the position to Danzo. It's going to annoy him a little bit, that one. So Joey is 7th, Danzo 8th, Bigsy 9th. Traumatic Dave in 10th place. Doves has seen the checkered flag, and Z4E, it's Blanksy, takes 11th place. Brilliant race 1 then of round 3 from the drivers. Really brilliant to watch. Les taking the race win after final corner effective contact at Junkow with Adam ID. It was deemed to be a racing incident. Both drivers very much understanding of each other's positions, and Adam ID had judged to unfortunately just a bit of squeezing between him and Les, and that caused Adam unfortunately to go off and miss out on a race win which he would have desperately wanted. I will end this stream. We'll come back to race 2 for round 3 in just a few moments, so don't go away.